The politics of cost of living. Steve, as long as you and I have had access to a microphone, we know that what people pay for things matters. And when we start to see the signs that we have, about 3.7 million households that can't put food on the table. I love Foodbank, but I didn't need Foodbank to tell me that. You know it, you know the stories already. The Senate inquiry into cost of living that, again, I mentioned. People trying to keep frozen, keep ice in their car so that when it melts it can be turned to drinking water and they can use it to refrigerate what little food that they have, let alone, again, Petrol, which is now surging about 13.9% on inflation, that's its inflation number, 3 times higher than the 5%, means it'll feed into the inflation number that the Reserve Bank's already said they're looking at interest rates again. The Prime Minister could tomorrow organise more money for Foodbank. Oh, but he's got a $20 billion surplus. He can't. He could cut fuel by 25 cents because now they care about the cost of living. I don't know, but you can't ask me about that because I'm overseas.
Yeah, it's time to get that fuel excise thing sorted out. I mean, we're hearing anecdotal stories here, and look, I don't know whether they're true or not, but I've heard enough examples of it, and Foodbank were saying this again today, that you've got kids in school who are ducking out, going to the bathroom as an excuse, and raiding the school bags of schoolmates to get food out of the bag so they can eat some lunch themselves, because mum and dad can't afford to put food in their lunchbox at school. Well, what sort of country are we living in when we get to that point? I mean, cost of living, we wasted 3 months on the referendum and cost of living was never mentioned. Cost of living is the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 issue that we have to work out and have to sort out. We can't have Australians who, as Foodbank said today, earning up to $95,000 a year as a household, and they can't afford to go and buy proper food for themselves. They're resorting to going to Macca's and buying, a Big Mac for the kids instead of being able to go and buy some meat to put on the table. I mean, where are we as a country if this is not the major issue? And where is the government? I mean, Anthony Albanese has to travel, but who's out there today talking about this? Where's Jim Chalmers? Where's everyone else on that front bench saying this should be our priority?
100%. I mean, look, the writing orders after the Voice was, it's all about cost of living, Caro. That was going to be their focus. Again, no decision when it comes to fuel. Again, they've got the extra money. And in particular, when it comes to things like Foodbank or even being able to put on breakfasts and lunch for kids at school, that's where you put $450 million, not into a question that you knew was going to come up as no for about 6 months now.
I know, or at least put the $450 million if you want to help Indigenous kids who can't afford meals, even before the cost of living crisis started. Absolutely. And is it any surprise? I know you've been banging on about it. I've been banging on
about it.
The Voice has distracted the government from the issues that actually concern most Australians. Like an advisory body for a small group who has had representation in Parliament and other advisory bodies, which haven't made much difference, is not at top of people's priorities.